You ever notice that when someone's lying to you, their hobbies get real healthy, real fast? That's what happened with Jenna. My name's Chris. 36 years old, financial analyst, work from home. Married to Jenna, 34, also a financial analyst, though lately she seemed more into spiritual growth than spreadsheets. We lived in a high-rise in downtown Chicago. The kind of place with floor-to-ceiling windows and a concierge who acts like your time is never quite as important as his. We weren't rich. We were comfortable. Jenna liked comfortable. She liked $200 yoga mats, $9 oat milk lattes, and suddenly, out of nowhere, she liked yoga retreats. Twice a week. In the middle of the day. Which, sure, maybe was her thing. But here's the catch. She wasn't a yoga person. I mean, 2 months ago she called it stretching for influencers. I remember because she said it while sipping wine in pajamas at 3 p.m. So when she suddenly bought a $600 annual pass to a studio called Glow Within, my eyebrows did a little yoga of their own. First week, fine. She came home flushed, mat rolled under her arm, talking about reconnecting with her core. I let it go. Second week, she started staying after class to meditate or connect with the community. Okay, babe, whatever floats your overpriced boat. Third week, she got cagey. Her phone started living on Do Not Disturb. No more casual texting during class. No more calls returned. Sometimes I'd get one-word replies 2 hours after asking what time she'd be home. Traffic. Busy. Namaste. Fourth week, the receipts stopped adding up. Literally. The Glow Within charges on our joint card? Only showing up once every other week. Maybe yoga studios were running a BOGO deal I didn't know about. I started getting that gut feeling. The one no financial model can quantify. Then came the spark. One Tuesday morning, Jenna forgot to turn off location sharing. We'd set it up back when she lost her phone in a lift, and I had to play digital bloodhound to find it under some frat bro's seat. After that, she just left location on just in case. Well, guess what, babe, case in point. So this Tuesday, she kisses me goodbye, throws on her $200 athleisure set, grabs her mat, and says she'll be back after flow and brunch. Sure thing, sweetie. 15 minutes later, I'm bored on a Zoom call, half listening to my boss drone on about pivot tables. Out of habit, I flick open Find My iPhone. There she is, but not where I expect. Glow Within is 5 blocks away. Her little blue dot is cruising down the interstate, heading west. Fast. No stops. No brunch spots. No juice bars. Just I-290 toward the burbs. I tell myself, hey, maybe she's visiting a friend. Maybe Glow Within opened a second location in a strip mall. But no. 40 minutes later, Jenna's dot lands squarely at the Sunset Inn and Suites, a motel I wouldn't recommend to cockroaches, much less yoga practitioners. And there she stays. For 2 hours. I sit there, watching the dot like it's the damn Super Bowl. When she finally moves again, she doesn't go to Glow Within. Doesn't pick up a smoothie. Just heads home. That night, she's glowing, all right. Yoga was so good today, she says, massaging her calves. I really needed that deep stretch. Deep stretch. Right. No, I'm not an impulsive guy. I analyze things for a living. So I don't confront her. Not yet. First, I need data. Receipts. A paper trail. I need my own little case study. Enter the AirTag. 2 days later, I buy a 4-pack. Stick one in her car, one in her purse, one under the lining of her yoga mat carrier, and the piece de resistance, one inside a tiny pocket in her gym bag. Jenna never checks that pocket. It's got a broken zipper she's too lazy to fix. Perfect. Next yoga day, boom, she's back at Sunset Inn. This time for 3 hours. And so it goes. Over the next 3 weeks, I build the world's saddest heat map. Monday? Motel. Thursday? Motel. Saturday? Oh hey, double-header morning and afternoon visits. Meanwhile, I start compiling everything. Location timestamps, receipts I pull from our joint bank account. Looks like her lover's got expensive tastes because Jenna started withdrawing cash. Guess she doesn't want motel boy leaving a card trail. Cute. Now here's where it gets even better. Turns out my cousin Alex manages the Sunset Inn. Yeah, small world, or maybe just poetic justice. I pay him a little visit, and after a beer and a very awkward conversation, he agrees to pull the security footage. That footage? Well, let's just say Jenna's flow state involved very little downward dog and a lot more horizontal mambo. And the guy? Some tattooed meathead I vaguely recognized from her Instagram, personal trainer at her gym. Perfect cliché. I could have blown up right then. Could have called her out, screamed, divorced her on the spot. But why play checkers when you can play chess? See, Jenna's birthday was coming up. Big family dinner planned at a swanky downtown restaurant. Her parents, her sisters, our friends, all the Instagram crew ready to post happy snaps of the golden couple. I smile through clenched teeth as we finalize plans. Of course, babe. You deserve a special night. And oh, it was going to be special. I start preparing the gift. I buy a beautiful gift box. Real fancy, velvet lining, silk bow, the works. Inside, I place a printed calendar with her yoga sessions mapped perfectly to motel visits, complete with GPS coordinates and timestamps. Copies of bank statements showing cash withdrawals. Stills from the motel security footage, blurred, but recognizable enough. And a sweet little note. Namaste, Jenna. I hope you find the inner peace you're searching for. Love, Chris. It took restraint not to add confetti. The night arrives. The restaurant's buzzing. Jenna's beaming in a red dress I used to love. Her mom's already 3 glasses deep, rambling about grandkids. Everyone's toasting to Jenna's vibrant energy. When the main course wraps up, I stand. Before dessert, I say, voice calm, casual, I've got something special for Jenna. She claps her hands. Oh, babe, you didn't have to. Oh, but I did. I hand her the box. She unties the bow, lifts the lid, and freezes. The smile vanishes. Her face goes sheet white. The room goes dead silent. She flips through the calendar. The bank statements. The photos. Her dad leans in. Jenna, what is this? She stammers. It's not Chris. We can talk about this. Oh, I think we're way past talking, babe. I say, leaning back. Enjoy your cake. I sip my wine as the room implodes. And the best part? Alex scheduled the motel footage to auto-email her entire yoga WhatsApp group. Timestamped. Geotagged. With love. It's funny what you notice when the world's burning down around you. Like how expensive the restaurant's napkins looked. Heavy, like miniature hotel towels. Probably cost more than my first microwave. Jenna was clutching one now, knuckles white, dabbing sweat off her upper lip while her mom read the calendar aloud in mounting horror. March 7th. Motel visit, 2 hours, GPS location. Jenna. Silence. Her dad was staring daggers at me, like I'd pulled a gun instead of a gift box. Meanwhile, her 2 sisters had their phones under the table, furiously texting, either live updating the gossip thread or Googling how to disown a sibling without legal action. I just sat there, sipping my wine. Merlot. 2017. A little heavy, but hey, it paired nicely with betrayal. Chris. Jenna finally managed, her voice trembling. Why would you do this here? I set my glass down, slow and deliberate. Oh, I don't know. Maybe because for the past 2 months, every time you told me you were going to find your sinner, you were really getting bent over in room 214 at the Sunset Inn. Gasps around the table. Her cousin spit out a mouthful of sparkling water like a B-movie extra. That's not, Jenna's voice cracked. We can discuss this at home. Oh, you mean our home? The one I pay for, where I was busy analyzing corporate risk portfolios while you were riding your trainer like a spin bike. I could see the tears welling. But there was no sympathy left in me. I had charts. I had graphs. Hell, I almost made a PowerPoint. But restraint, dear viewers, sometimes less is more. Chris, stop, her dad barked. This is not the time. No, Bob. See, the time was probably about 6 motel visits ago. But here we are. I leaned forward, voice low and even. By the way, Bob, say hi to Alex. He frowned. Who's Alex? Motel manager. Also my cousin. Also the reason we've got these lovely photos. I flipped one of the stills around, letting him and the rest of the table catch a blurry but unmistakable glimpse of Jenna entering the motel, hand in hand with the human protein shake she'd been banging. You could have heard a pin drop. Somewhere in the distance, a waiter dropped a tray. I gave him an internal fist bump. Jenna looked like she wanted to sink through the floor. Chris, please, she whispered. Oh no, babe. I'm just getting started. I stood, buttoned my jacket. Theatrics, sure, but earn theatrics. For everyone here, family, friends, I want you to know, this wasn't some random mistake. This wasn't a one-night slip. This was a pattern. Calculated. Hidden. Lied about. And while I was busy paying for your yoga classes and your designer leggings, you were investing in hotel loyalty points. I could see her mom crying now. Her dad was shaking with rage. The sisters? Still texting. Probably OMG he brought receipts followed by flame emojis. Now here's where the fun part started. I'd scheduled an auto email. At exactly 8:45 p.m., right about now, Jenna's yoga WhatsApp group would receive an anonymous message. Subject line, your fellow yogi's extracurricular flexibility. Inside, video clips. Short ones. No need for X-rated footage, just enough to prove the point. Arrival at motel. Kissing in the hallway. Leaving 3 hours later looking, well, less spiritually aligned. Right on cue, her phone buzzed. Then buzzed again. And again. Ping, ping, ping. A chorus of shame. Her eyes went wide. She grabbed her phone, opened it, and her face drained of what little color was left. No, no, she whispered. Namaste, I murmured. I adjusted my cufflinks. Dinner's on me, everyone. Well, technically it's on the joint account, but not for long. Then I turned and walked out. Now, most people might have thought that was enough. Public humiliation, exposed lies, clean break. But oh no, dear listener. You see, revenge isn't just about the moment. It's about the aftertaste, the lingering bitterness. That night, as I sat in my now very empty living room, I opened my laptop. While Jenna was probably still trying to do damage control in a bathroom stall somewhere, I was transferring funds. Our joint savings? Moved to my private account. Legally sound. I documented everything. Split assets were already in process. My lawyer was prepped. Next up, the condo. Jenna loved that high-rise. Posted about it constantly. Hashtag city views. Hashtag blessed life. Well, guess what? Lease was in my name. I gave our landlord notice. We'd be out in 30 days. Which meant Jenna would be out in, well, probably 5 once she realized I wasn't bluffing. And the car? Same deal. Leased under my company account. Her access, revoked. By sunrise, Jenna had a yoga mat, some Lululemon, and a whole lot of explaining to do. I slept like a baby. The next morning, the text started. First, Chris, we need to talk. Please. Then, I'm so sorry. I never meant to hurt you. Then, it was a mistake. It didn't mean anything. Can we work through this? Ah, the classics. I waited. No response. By noon, her sisters started texting me. Chris, come on. Do you really need to blow up her whole life? I sent back one message. She blew up her life. I'm just handing out the shrapnel. Jenna's trainer? Well, his gym's Instagram went private by lunchtime. Rumor had it half the female clients had canceled their memberships overnight. Guess they didn't want that kind of community connection. As for Jenna, I heard from mutual friends that her yoga group booted her. Her WhatsApp lit up with screenshots of the footage. One girl even posted a meme about it, downward dogging in all the wrong places. Harsh, but hey, truth hurts. By day 3, Jenna showed up at the condo, banging on the door, crying, Chris, please. Let's just talk. Please. I love you. I watched from the kitchen, phone in hand, recording. Insurance, you know. Eventually, she left. I sent her one final message. Divorce papers incoming. You'll hear from my lawyer. And one more thing, room 214's got a new plaque. Jenna's suite. Thought you'd appreciate the branding. Petty? Maybe. Satisfying? You bet your butt. And that, my friends, was just the beginning. Because the next phase of this little revenge arc? Oh, it was going to get very public. The thing about watching someone's life implode is that after the initial explosion, the real fun is in the aftershocks. It's slow, deliberate, and far more satisfying than the first bang. Jenna thought she'd reached peak humiliation that night at the restaurant. Oh, sweet summer child. That was just the teaser trailer. The main feature was still loading. By day 4 post-dinner, she was desperate. The texts kept rolling in. Paragraphs now. Half love bombing, half gaslighting. Chris, you know this wasn't all real. You know he meant nothing to me. Please, I was in a bad place. You were distant. I needed connection. Ah yes, the classic, you made me cheat maneuver. Cute. Meanwhile, her parents? Radio silence. I suspect they were too busy dealing with their own public shaming. Turns out when your daughter's infidelity goes semi-viral in a niche yoga community, word spreads fast. And when your daughter's husband gifts her evidence of said infidelity at a birthday dinner with your entire extended family, well, small-town dramas got nothing on that. I was fielding texts from mutual friends too. Most of them were in my corner, to be fair. Bro. Legendary. Holy SHD. Chris, you went nuclear. Asterisk. Remind me never to cross you. But there were a few bleeding hearts. Don't you think you've done enough? To those, I had a simple answer. No. Because here's the thing. I'd spent years being the good husband. The one who supported her when she wanted to quit her job and find herself at an ashram in Bali. The one who listened to her complain about corporate culture while I kept paying the bills. The one who let her redecorate our condo to look like an anthropology showroom after one too many Pinterest binges. And while I was doing all that, she was busy playing naked Twister with her trainer at a motel that probably charged by the hour. So no, I wasn't done. Not yet. Now, the next phase of my plan required a bit of patience. See, publicly humiliating someone is fun, but strategically dismantling their reputation? That's art. First move, social media. Jenna was one of those online wellness warriors. You know the type. Daily posts of acai bowls, inspirational quotes in loopy fonts, sun-drenched selfies captioned, "Align with your higher self." She had over 8,000 followers on Instagram, mostly yoga girls and wannabe influencers. Her Instagram bio read, financial analyst turned soul healer. Wife. Dog mom. Lover of life. Well, 1 out of 4, I suppose. Now, I had no intention of going public myself. That would be tacky. But it turns out, when you pull a stunt like I did at that birthday dinner, and when a certain cousin happens to have a sense of humor, information leaks. Alex, my cousin/motel manager, had a burner Reddit account. I didn't ask for details. Let's just say by day 5, a little post titled, "Caught my wife cheating thanks to Find My iPhone and AirTags, served her receipts at her birthday dinner," was trending on r/petty revenge. Heavily anonymized, sure. But anyone who was at that dinner, or in Jenna's orbit, could connect the dots. Within 24 hours, screenshots were circulating. Her Instagram comments started filling up with not-so-subtle shade. Hope you're finding your higher self at the Sunset Inn. Room 214 got that good energy, huh? Namaste, cheater. And just like that, the mask cracked. She locked her account first, then wiped it clean, then deactivated entirely. Checkmate, darling. But I wasn't stopping there. You see, Jenna's personal brand wasn't just online fluff. She'd recently started applying for consulting gigs in the wellness space, speaking engagements, brand sponsorships, all that influencer-adjacent hustle. And one of the companies she was courting? A boutique yoga apparel brand I happened to know the founder of. Small world, right? So I sent a polite, private message. Hey, just FYI, before you book Jenna for anything, you might want to see this. Attached, her now infamous birthday box contents. Condensed, tasteful, watermarked with a timestamp. Response? Holy SHT. Thank you. We'll be reconsidering. Asterisk. And just like that, another little revenue stream evaporated. Meanwhile, back in the real world, I was preparing for the final move, legal. My lawyer, bless her shark-like soul, had already drafted divorce papers. Clean. Ironclad. We'd been married long enough that there were assets to split, but with the evidence I'd compiled, spousal support was off the table. In fact, Jenna was in breach of our prenup's fidelity clause. Oh, how convenient. I served her on day 7. She showed up at my condo again that night. No more banging on the door, just a quiet knock. I watched her through the peephole. Mascara streaked. Hoodie pulled low. Yoga mat slung over one shoulder like a shield. I didn't open the door. Just spoke through it. You should go, Jenna. Chris, please. I'm sorry. I'll sign whatever you want. Just, can we talk? We talked. You talked with your trainer too. You chose. Now I'm choosing. Silence. Then a choked sob. You ruined my life, she whispered. No, Jenna. You did. I just provided the footnotes. She left after that. The next day, she finally responded through her lawyer. She'd signed the papers. Now, at this point, most people would call it case closed. Divorce in motion. Reputation tarnished. Public humiliation delivered. But remember, aftertaste. There was one final play. Not for me. For everyone else who might be tempted to forget. I called Alex. Hey, cuz, I said. Got a favor to ask. What's up? You still got that room plaque? He laughed. You want it? No. I want you to auction it. He cackled. You're evil. I prefer thorough. And so, a week later, on a quiet little online auction site frequented by local kitsch collectors, a listing appeared. Sunset in room 214 plaque, infamous site of viral cheating scandal. Proceeds to charity, of course. I'm not a monster. The listing blew up. Word spread. News outlets picked it up, Chicago motel room becomes internet sensation after viral infidelity expose. And Jenna? Well, she went fully offline after that. Mutual friends told me she was considering moving cities. Honestly, probably wise. As for me, I moved out of the condo. Leveled up, you could say. New place, new vibe. Started dating again carefully this time. And every now and then, when I walk past a yoga studio and hear some influencer preaching about honesty and alignment, I smile. Because sometimes, karma just needs a little nudge. And that, dear viewer, was how I found my wife's lover, with a little help from Find My iPhone. You'd think by this point I'd be tired of the whole thing. Public humiliation? Check. Legal victory pending? Check. Ex-wife spiraling into an offline shame cocoon? Double check. But no. There was still a particular itch I needed to scratch. Closure was off the table, sure, but satisfaction? That was still very much on the menu. See, I had one loose end flapping in the breeze. One meathead in gym shorts who'd skated through this whole circus unscathed. Mr. Personal Trainer. The guy who thought sleeping with a client behind her husband's back was just another cardio session. Yeah, him. Now, I wasn't about to go full caveman and throw punches. That's not my style. But reputational bruises? Those I could deliver without breaking a sweat. So I did what any self-respecting analyst would do. Research. First, I ran a quick background check. Nothing shady, just good old LinkedIn stalking, public records, gym website digging. Took me about an hour. Mr. Muscles, real name Tyler Grant. Certified trainer at Pulse Fit Studio, a trendy gym about 6 blocks from our old condo. Big on Instagram, 15K followers, mostly thirst trap selfies and motivational quotes ripped straight from Pinterest. But here's the kicker. Pulse Fit Studio had a strict no fraternization policy. Trainers hooking up with clients? Grounds for immediate termination. I know this because, irony alert, Jenna had once ranted about it when another trainer got canned for sleeping with a married client. Oh, the poetic symmetry. So I made a polite anonymous tip. Subject line. Policy violation, urgent. Body. Please see attached screenshots regarding Tyler Grant's conduct with client Jenna R., married at the time of their relationship. Additional video evidence available upon request. Concerned about the integrity of your studio's brand. I didn't attach the full video, just a couple of stills and the motel receipts with timestamps. Enough to pique interest, not enough to tip my hand entirely. I hit send, then waited. Didn't take long. 2 days later, I got a confirmation email. Thank you for bringing this to our attention. We are conducting an internal review. Internal review, my ass. By day 3, Tyler's smiling face vanished from the PulseFit website. His Instagram went dark. Word on the street, via a very chatty mutual friend, was that he'd been quietly shown the door. One down. Now, you might think I was just being vindictive. And sure, part of it was petty. But mostly, it was about balance. Jenna's life was burning. Tyler deserved to sweat a little too. Meanwhile, the divorce proceedings were moving along nicely. My lawyer was a machine, documents flying back and forth, prenup clauses getting underlined in red. Jenna's side folded fast. Once her lawyer saw the stack of evidence I had, they practically begged us to keep it out of open court. We agreed, with conditions. No spousal support, no claims on my business assets, and Jenna walked away with what was left of her personal savings and whatever clothes she hadn't already dragged to her parents' place. The condo? Mine, but I didn't want it anymore. Too many bad memories and too many yoga mats stuffed in closets. I prepped it for listing and started apartment hunting. But before I moved on entirely, there was one final performance I wanted to stage. See, remember that little online auction for the Sunset and Room plaque? The one that blew up in the local press? It had raised over $3,000 for charity, not a fortune, but enough to make a point. The charity? A local organization that supported betrayed spouses and domestic abuse survivors. Public enough that they posted donation updates on their website and social media. So I reached out to the director and asked a favor. Would you be willing to let me present the donation in person? They were thrilled. Local media loved a redemption story, after all. We set a date for a small ceremony, a photo op, nothing major. Just enough to make sure the message stuck. The day of the event, I put on my sharpest suit and showed up smiling. The press release had already gone out. Local man turns personal betrayal into community support. A couple of reporters showed. Clicked their cameras as I handed over the giant novelty check. I shook hands with the director, said a few words about resilience and moving forward. And then, for good measure, I gave a short interview. I think it's important, I said, looking straight into the lens, that when people break trust so completely, there are consequences. Not out of cruelty, but out of fairness. Actions have weight. And the rest of us? We're stronger than we think. The clip aired that night on the local news. My phone lit up again. Texts from friends, from coworkers, from people I barely knew. Dude. Legend. You really did it. How are you not running for office? But my favorite? A blocked number voicemail from Jenna. You're sick, she hissed. You're making a circus out of this. I hope you're happy. I grinned as I deleted it. Oh, I was happy. I was finally breathing clean air. Now, about that move. I found a new place, sleek, modern, a little outside the city. No yoga studios on the block. Thank you very much. I packed what I wanted, sold off the rest, handed the condo keys to my realtor, and walked away from that chapter of my life with a lighter step. And the best part? I never once responded to Jenna again. No calls. No texts. No late-night apologies. She sent a few more desperate messages, that I miss you kind. The it wasn't real kind. The please don't ruin me further kind. I ignored them all. Because here's the thing. Revenge isn't about getting them back. It's about getting yourself back. By the time the divorce finalized, my life looked nothing like it had 6 months prior. New home. New routine. New peace. And Tyler? Last I heard, he was bouncing between gyms, trying to salvage his reputation. Word travels fast in that world. Jenna? Well, mutual friends told me she tried pivoting to the wellness scene again, but the yoga community had long memories. Her personal brand was radioactive. As for me, I'd say I was thriving. Leaner, sharper, wiser. And every time I used Find My iPhone after that, just to check where my keys were or locate an air-tagged suitcase, I smiled. Because sometimes, the simplest tools deliver the sharpest justice. But then, just when I thought the game was over, one final twist landed in my lap. One more move. One more chance to twist the knife without even lifting a finger. Funny thing about fire, once you light it, you can't always control where the smoke drifts. I figured my little saga had played out. Divorce in motion. Ex-wife's reputation charbroiled. Mr. Protein Shake's career on life support. All neat little checkmarks in the revenge ledger. But life had other plans. It started with a text from Alex. Yeah, motel manager Alex. The cousin who probably deserved a fruit basket for the sheer entertainment value he provided through this whole mess. Yo, you got a minute? I called him up. What's up, man? He chuckled. You're not gonna believe this. Guess who showed up at the Sunset Inn last night? I didn't even have to guess. No. Oh yeah, he said. Room 214. Alone. Looked like she'd been crying. I blinked. You're serious? Dead serious. Checked in under her own name this time. Paid cash. I sat back, digesting that one. Jenna, voluntarily returning to the scene of the crime alone. Maybe trying to reclaim the space, maybe wallowing in it, maybe hoping Mr. Meathead would show. Who knows? Not my circus anymore. But it gave me an idea. See, if Jenna wanted to relive the past, maybe I could offer her a little guided tour. I told Alex to keep me posted. 2 days later, she was back again, different time slot, same sad ritual. Clearly she was spiraling. Meanwhile, the charity story about my donation was still making quiet ripples online. A few niche outlets picked it up, clickbait headlines like, husband turns infidelity into viral revenge, with receipts. I didn't seek them out, but friends kept sending me the links. One particularly juicy article even included a line that made me laugh out loud. Sources say the cheater in question has gone dark online and is facing mounting fallout in her social circles. Mounting fallout. Understatement of the year. Now, the one thing I hadn't done, the one final move I'd been saving, was this. I hadn't touched Jenna's professional reputation yet. Sure, her side hustle yoga brand was toast. But her real income? Financial analysis. Corporate work. And guess what? She just applied for a new firm, one I happen to know very well. How? Small world again. One of their senior partners was an old college friend of mine, Greg. Good guy. Smart. Straight shooter. And a few weeks back, at a happy hour, Greg had casually mentioned they were hiring. I'd said nothing then, but now? The timing was too perfect. I shot him a text. Hey Greg, quick heads up, heard Jenna R. is applying for your team. You might want to do a little extra due diligence. He called me 5 minutes later. Holy sh*t, Chris. Are you serious? I laid it out, fact by fact. No embellishments. Just the cold truth and the public fallout already in motion. Greg sighed. Damn, that's a mess. Thanks for the warning. And just like that, another door quietly closed in Jenna's face. Petty? Maybe. Necessary? Absolutely. Actions have consequences. And this one? She was going to feel for a long, long time. Meanwhile, the divorce finalized. Clean. Done. No alimony, no asset grab, no messy court fight. Just a single signed document ending a marriage built on trust she'd traded for 2-hour motel romps. I thought that was the final chapter. But then, life served up one last delicious twist. It was a Friday night. I was out with a few friends at a rooftop bar, first time in months I'd actually felt relaxed enough to enjoy a night out. Midway through my second drink, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. Normally I'd ignore it, but something told me to answer. Hello? Chris. A woman's voice. Shaky. Nervous. Who is this? She hesitated. It's Emily. Emily Davis. My brain flipped through its mental Rolodex, then stopped cold. Emily Davis. One of Jenna's closest friends. Maid of honor at our wedding. Serial brunch poster. The same Emily who'd mysteriously gone radio silent during the whole fallout. Emily, I said flatly. Bit late for a check-in, isn't it? I know, she blurted. But, can we talk? Please. It's about Jenna. I sighed. Talk. She launched into a frantic explanation. Apparently, Jenna had been unraveling fast. Not just the motel revisits. She'd been calling old friends, begging them to take her side, to help restore her image. Half had ghosted her. The other half were getting tired of her self-pity parade. Then came the kicker. She's planning to spin the story, Emily said. She's talking about posting some big truth video online, saying you were abusive, that you manipulated her, that the motel visits were a symptom of your control. I felt my pulse slow, not spike. Cold, clear. Is she now? I said quietly. Emily sounded near tears. I don't know what to do. I told her it was insane, but she's desperate. She thinks if she controls the narrative, she can get sympathy back. I smiled. Slow. I see. Let her try. Chris. No, Emily. Let her try. She posts one word like that, one lie, and I release everything. The full footage. The full timeline. The full receipts. You think the birthday dinner was bad? That'll look like a warm-up act. Silence. Then a whispered, I'll tell her. Good, I said. And Emily? Yeah. Tell Jenna to remember one thing. The truth doesn't care about her feelings. And neither do I. I hung up. The next morning, I checked Jenna's socials, or what was left of them. No new video. No dramatic post. And by Sunday, word had reached me through the grapevine she'd backed down. Quietly. Wisely. See, that's the thing about playing games with someone who knows how to document everything. You can bluff once. Maybe twice. But by the third hand, you're out of chips and everyone's watching. After that, Jenna went fully dark. Deleted most accounts. Stopped showing up at mutual circles. Rumor had it she was looking at jobs out of state. Maybe a fresh start. Maybe trying to outrun her own wreckage. Me? I was already miles ahead. New place. New circle. New peace. And every now and then, when I find my iPhone to check something simple, a bag, a wallet, a device, I remember. It started with a dot on a map. A simple blue dot at a seedy motel. And it ended with a map of consequences Jenna will never escape. But there's one more thing. One last little move I haven't told you about. Because sometimes, the best revenge is the one they don't even know about. You know, when you think about revenge, most people imagine the big moments. The confrontation. The public shaming. The dramatic exits. But the most satisfying part? The part that really sticks? It's what happens after the credits roll. The long tail. The moves they never see coming. I wasn't planning a part 6 originally. After the birthday dinner, the auction, the charity stunt, the professional sabotage, and the torpedoed friendships, I figured the account was settled. But the thing about accountants, we like clean ledgers. And mine still had one last unbalanced line. Here's the thing. Jenna's whole image pre-affair was built on one thing. Trust. Not just with me, not just with friends, but professionally. Her old firm, the one she'd left for soul healing, she'd left on good terms. They liked her. They had no idea she was now radioactive. And in a fit of desperation, she'd started sniffing around them again. I know this because Greg, bless him, kept me in the loop. Apparently, Jenna had reached out to an old manager of hers, fishing for a possible freelance gig. That's when I decided to ensure there'd be no redemption arc. Now, a lesser man would have torpedoed her with a phone call, a blunt force warning. But like I said, I prefer precision. So I called Alex again. Got another favor, I said. He laughed. Man, I should start charging you. You might want to after this. I had him pull one last gem from the motel footage archives. Not the salacious parts, not the hallway kissing, not the stretching sessions. No, I wanted the check-in tape. See, the sunset and had a front desk camera. And the audio from one particular visit was pure gold. Jenna, checking in with Tyler, giggling, leaning over the counter. And then the line. I swear, my husband's so clueless, he thinks I'm at yoga right now. Total idiot. Now that was useful. Alex sent me the clip. I smiled. Sat down. Drafted an anonymous email. Subject, professional integrity cautionary tale. Body. Before rehiring a former employee, you may want to review her recent conduct. Attached is a clip demonstrating her current approach to honesty and trust. I attached the audio-only file, lightly edited for clarity. Sent it to the head of HR at Jenna's old firm. Then I waited. It took less than 24 hours. Greg called me, trying and failing to suppress laughter. Dude, they're blackballing her. I raised an eyebrow. Really? Yeah. Word spreading fast. She's off every project list. They're even quietly letting partner firms know. Professional pariah. I leaned back. Perfect. But here's the kicker. 2 days later, I get a call from, of all people, Jenna's father. Now, I hadn't heard from Bob since the birthday dinner. Last I saw him, he was white-knuckling a steak knife and glaring at his daughter like she'd ruined the family name. She had. But here he was, voice tight. Chris. Bob. I'm not calling to apologize, he said. I'm not calling to ask for forgiveness. I need to know if you're done. I let the silence hang. He sighed. She's a wreck. No job prospects. No friends left. No future here. We're trying to get her into therapy. Out of the city. I took a breath. Cold. Measured. Bob, here's the deal. I'm not coming after her anymore. I've made my moves. She made hers. What's left is gravity. She's falling now, all on her own. He was quiet. Just stop the bleeding, he said, voice cracking. Please. I didn't promise him anything. Just hung up. Because here's the truth. Stopping? That's for people who want closure. I didn't want closure. I wanted certainty. Certainty that Jenna would never claw her way back on a lie. That no yoga post, no rebrand, no pity plea would erase the stain she'd painted on her own damn life. And now? That certainty was locked in. She'd burned every bridge, lost every gig, poisoned every circle. The woman who once bragged about having the perfect life? Now a cautionary tale whispered in conference rooms and brunch tables. And me? I'd moved on. Apartment sold. New loft, new car, new life. No regrets. No second thoughts. And every so often, when I glance at Find My iPhone, because yes, I still use it, I see her dots long since vanished. Account closed. Probably deleted in shame. But in my archive? The original map. The blue dots trail. The GPS breadcrumbs of betrayal. A quiet reminder that sometimes the simplest tech can take down the biggest lies. And sometimes the cleanest revenge is knowing they can never undo what you exposed. So here's my final message to anyone out there thinking they can get away with a lie like that. Keep your yoga mat. I'll keep the receipts. Subscribe to the channel